Alright, hello everyone, this is Steven,
Sean?
and we're here just to have some tips in getting better at Hades. I've spent a lot of time on this game,
A
and
lot of time. What's a lot of time, Steve?
I've got over 100 hours easily on this game, and plenty of successful escape attempts, so I just wanted to kind of point out things I wish I would have known when I started out, just to make make it a little easier on the people that are just starting out as well. Starting out, they didn't really explain what a lot of resources and other things that we would have had access to, so I didn't really know what I was doing. But I did kind of want to point out, starting out, you're very weak and you're still learning the game, and some of the resources that you may focus on early on would be smart to focus on darkness, keys, and nectar. So the darkness is mostly useful for upgrading your character. These are permanent upgrades, so even though you lose all of your boons and all of your power upgrades during a run, all of your gold, these are stuff that stays with you every single time. So you have a bunch of different upgrades. Like, this allows you to have an extra life. You'll get 50% of your life once you die, and it's very useful, of course, making it through all 4 stages of the game. So you only start out with about 3 of these, and then you need the chthonic keys in order to unlock the rest of them. So I would focus mostly on darkness as well as the keys. After that, having nectar would be useful. You see them as chamber rewards, and the thing about nectar is you give them to any of the characters that you come across, and usually for most of these characters it is the first time you gift them nectar. They give you keepsakes, and equipping keepsakes gives you different abilities during your escape attempt. All of the gods and goddesses do have, it gives you a chance to have them next, so chances are if you start out with this keepsake, then you'll come across this god or goddess right away, and this kind of gives you a way to focus on what kind of build you want. And you kind of want to go through with trial and error, figuring out exactly what kind of build you think works with your playstyle the best. Starting out, I did focus a lot on Ares because he has a status effect called Doom. So every time you hit somebody and you give Doom to an enemy, then they get a burst of damage about a second later. Dionysus, he has Hangover, so it does a small amount of damage over time, so it's kind of like poison. And eventually I started branching out, and I focus a lot on Artemis, so she gives you critical hit percentage, so chances are some of your attacks will do more damage. So basically, you just gotta keep going through the game over and over and seeing what kind of complements your playstyle the best. And another thing that you can use the keys for are to unlock your various weapons. And this also fits with what will complement your playstyle the best.
Far greater gods than I once wielded.
So there is the rail, the gun rather, and the bow and arrow. There's also a sword, spear, the shield, and the gauntlets. So whatever fits your playstyle the best, you can switch between them, and they do give you the incentive to switch between the weapons often. Like, using the gauntlets on this escape attempt would give me a bonus in the darkness and the gemstones I would earn. And last but not least, this is a fantastic game and they have a great story behind it. But it is very difficult, and they do want people to be able to experience it. There is always God mode, and this gives you a 20% damage reduction, and every time you die you get another 2% added until it caps at 80. And it's there for a reason. There's really no penalty to using it. So if you're struggling, or you don't have as much time to invest in it, or you just want to experience the story, then there's no shame in using God mode.
That sounds like it's just for me.
Right. I personally haven't used it just because out of pride, but it is there for a reason. Again, no penalty to it, so it's okay to use it.
Interesting.
And from there, just trial and error. Every time you go through, you're going to experience different enemies. I'll just start up a match right now.
Not this time.
And it's just learning how to properly dodge enemies. I think the biggest thing is, it does seem like the game you can play very offensively, but being very careful is the main focus for me.
Lord Ares has suggested.
And then every time you start playing, I focus on boons after I was able to unlock all of the resources, all of the mirror upgrades and any other resources I may need. So now I try and focus on getting boons, and then I have certain boons that I will pick over the others. Like, I just had Athena just now, and her dash is one of the best because it also deflects. So if somebody were to hit me in mid dash, then I will deal some damage to them back. So from here, I'll probably just go with Artemis, just because I do like the critical hit chance, especially with the rail. I'm pretty decent at all the weapons. My least favorite are the spear and probably the shield. My favorite are the sword and the rail, just because it is high damage output. So here I can choose, like, I already have my favorite boons in mind. And I think average, a lot of people say about 15 to 30 is the amount of escape attempts until you get your first escape. I was on my 16th, I believe. So it's just learning every time you play the game, getting used to enemy patterns, and just practice.
Alright.
Well, I hope these tips help you out, and hopefully, if you haven't gotten that first escape attempt, I hope it helps you get that first one.
If you have any questions, leave it in the comments, and the expert here will get it answered.
Yeah.
Nice.
Alright, see you all in the next one.
See ya.